Hi, this is OG. Welcome to this channel. Today I'll be walking you through the process of installing Minikube on Mac OS. Sit back and enjoy. To start this off, go to Google, search Install Minikube on Mac. Click on the first link and look at the requirements. What you will need: you need 2 CPUs or more, you need 2 gigabytes of free memory, you need 20 gigabytes of free disk space, you need internet connection, you need a container or a virtual machine manager. In my own case, I have Docker is running in my machine, so if you have that installed, you can start your Docker in your machine. That's the Docker desktop. If not, you can also download that. You can search the process on Google. So in this case, I'll be using Homebrew. If you don't have Homebrew installed, you can also look for that process on Google. If you have Linux machine, the process is different. If you have Windows, the process is also different. You can download the exact file. You can download the binary file, or you can use Choco in case of Windows, or you can use Homebrew in the case of Mac OS. So I'll do here brew install Minikube. This process is pretty fast to download, but where it takes time is to start up the orchestration in your local computer. So next will be to do the Minikube start. So this process is actually going to take a little bit of time, maybe in minutes or less. But in this process, it's going to first pull the base image. It will create Docker container. You see that the requirements that it asks for is all showing here. So just bear in mind, since I'm just doing Minikube start, it's only going to have one node in our cluster. So that one node is going to be a master node called the control plane. If you want to have more node in your cluster, you can do things a little bit differently. You can specify the number of nodes that you want installed in this cluster. So for this cluster, we are only going to get one node, which is the master node called the control plane. So now it's preparing the Kubernetes on our Docker desktop. And next, I think this process is almost done. Okay, yes, checking the certificates, checking everything is okay. Done. So kubectl is also configured in our Minikube cluster. So next we are going to do kubectl get nodes to see the number of nodes that we have. So you see we have just one node, which is the control plane, also known as the master node, right? So here I'm going to do kubectl stop to stop the process, because I want to specify the number of nodes that I want in my cluster. So now I am stopping the node. I'm powering off my Minikube. So one node stop. So next I will do Minikube start -- nodes, the number of nodes I want. And this time I want 3, because I want one control plane and the rest will be a worker node. Just bear in mind, in Minikube you can only get one master node. So since I already specified I want 3 nodes, 1 control plane and 2 worker nodes. So the -p here is to define the profile, which is the K8s Cluster. You can call your profile whatever you want. So this process, the control plane is created. Now it's creating the second node, which is our worker node. It will run the same process, which is it will pull the base image, it will create the Docker container, it will prepare the Kubernetes, generate certificates and keys, booting up the control plane. It will configure the Embark roles, the CNI, it will do the same and enable the add-ons, or also lists have some add-ons in this cluster. So now it's creating the third node, which is our second worker node. The process is also going to be the same for the first worker node and the second worker node. Done. So here I'm going to do kubectl get nodes, and here you see that we have the three nodes, the control plane and the two worker nodes. So here I want to label my worker nodes and give them a name, give them a role. Instead of just being none, I can name them as worker node, which will make it easier for us to know what they are doing or what they are for. So the cluster, the K8s cluster M02 and M03, I will have to change the roles to worker. So I'll run this command. You can also copy and run the same command, but also change the name of your nodes. I will run the same command, but then change the M02 to M03 for the second worker node. Here I'll do M03 and run. Another thing I'm going to do is to also label our just doing more of a key value naming for our nodes. So one is able to do a cluster, do a node selector when you're filling in your manifest file, and specify the node that you want to deploy your application. So kubectl label nodes. I'll put the name of the node here and put in the role to be portal worker. I run the same code, the same command, and change this to M03 and run. It's all done and ready, labeled. I'm not going to do more here because I'm not deploying application, but this is how to install it. So I'm going to do Minikube stop and Minikube delete all, in case if I have anything that Minikube have installed for me in this cluster. So it's going to clean out, more like cleaning up everything that we have installed throughout this process. So next I'm going to use brew to uninstall Minikube. So this process is to install and uninstall. So this is just to clean up our machine when we are done. If we are not using it at a time, you can also do this just to clean up your computer. And that's all the process. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Also remember to turn off your or shut down your Docker desktop. Thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.